Hello, Taurus. How you doing, my bull gang? How you guys doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Thought I'd come here and just throw some cards, give you some energy, find out what is crawling around in the ethers out there. Taurus, don't forget that private reads are open, huh? Check the pinned comment if you're interested in that. Let's find out what's going on. Taurus, this reading is for sun, not just sun, but moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. Let's find out what's going on for Taurus. I'm just going to read them as they fall. Tell me about Taurus. In this bonus read, my intention is to read for the current energy and the future energy. I'm not trying to read for anything back there. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. We've got the Ace of Wands. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune is here, but it's in the reverse. So I'm going to say that something really exciting is coming up, Taurus, but it's not yet time. Something is about to change, but it's going to change in divine timing. It feels like it's not yet time. It's not yet ready for something that's exciting and around the corner here. Like within a week. Wands are weeks for me, so it feels like it's around the corner. We've got the Strength card. It feels like someone is still trying to find the courage to say something, do something, or hold something back. This could be you, Taurus, right? It could be a Leo. It could be a Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, or a Sagittarius possibly. But it feels like somebody here is in this position of holding back until they find enough courage to make change. Or maybe just holding back and waiting for the right moment. Because when destiny shows up, everything slowly begins to move forward and you can't really stop destiny from moving. So maybe it's just not the destined time for this exciting path to open yet. Tell me more. The Hermit energy is here. This is all going on while you are in hermit mode. Or this hermit here could indicate that something is quietly and spiritually about to change, or something spiritual is coming that is going to change your movement. Something is about to move. That's what it feels like. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. One more. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm going to say that it feels like there is someone who's about to release some sort of burden they've been carrying. This burden, I think, is happening in the future. Look, between 1 and 10 weeks, possibly. But it feels like there is someone who is single, or who is very abundant or confident, or trying to find the courage to have the confidence to come out of hermit mode and say something, begin something, open a new path. The Four of Pentacles is here. This person has, the interesting thing about this card is that there are 3 pentacles under one hand. So it feels like this person is possibly someone who is already in your wheelhouse. So somebody that you know, doesn't have to be a bestie. It doesn't have to be someone you see all the time. It could be someone that you've met once or twice or 3 times. It feels like this person here has an offering in their hand, right? But it also feels like somebody here is waiting for the perfect time to say something or do something. And at that time, they're going to be courageous enough to do it. And I think that's why the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. So what's under here? Temperance. Somebody's waiting for the universe to say, okay, it's go time. We've got the Knight of Cups here. Somebody is hopeful. You know what it is? It feels like somebody is hopeful here, but they feel as though maybe they're a little bit delusional. Maybe you don't feel the way they do. Or maybe you think that they don't feel the way you do. But temperance is here. And I feel like this star energy and the Knight of Cups is giving me, I really hope that this person feels as deeply or feels the same or has the same feelings about something as I do. Because when the moment of alchemy comes, when temperance shows up and I feel healed enough, I feel like it's the right moment, I stop teetering back and forth, I'm going to finally drop this burden that I've been carrying, and then I'm going to move forward. What happens after the wheel? Yeah, I feel like this is almost like a warning shot that change is coming in the future, but the reason that nothing is moving right now is because it's just not time. It's not the right time. Somebody could still be in hermit mode. Somebody is still maybe in the dark night of the soul, or somebody is sort of waiting for the right moment to see the light, to find their own light. Someone seems to be maybe possibly walking around in the dark, not really knowing what to do, trying to find their courage. Yeah, trying to find their courage to build something. We've got the Hanged Man here. See, things are in a pause. Very interesting. With the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, we can honestly say things are in a pause. You know why it's in a pause, Taurus? It feels like somebody here needs to get their bearings. They need to get a perspective about what actually am I going to have to sacrifice in order, like if I decide to listen for the universe and listen for destiny. So someone here is not chasing anything, I would say. They're not chasing, they're waiting for destiny, they're waiting to hear the wheel turn. I always think that when we see temperance, that temperance is sort of like one ear to the sky. It's like I'm listening, I'm waiting, and I'm listening for something to happen here. So I feel like somebody here is in this sort of pause, or in this suspension in life, because hanging from the tree of life, trying to find a different perspective. And I think that this person is waiting for the universe to bring perspective about destiny. What is my destiny? I want to know. So somebody here does not want to just run out there and chase everything, waste their time chasing everything. So they're holding their energy, back, and have decided that they're going to wait and get a perspective before they decide the value of what it is that destiny is about to bring. You know what it feels like? It feels like somebody here is quite psychic, or maybe someone who's used to feeling vibration or emotion. And I feel like somebody here is starting to see the perspective of long-term abundance. And in that perspective of long-term abundance, this person is not only thinking about love, okay, but they're thinking about long-term relationship, long-term employment, long-term savings. It feels like somebody here is thinking in long-term abundance. So this person is being very careful because they don't want to screw anything up, including destiny. Tell me more. We've got the Four of Swords. Also, I feel like somebody here is healing. Maybe healing finances, or waiting for this perspective to show up before destiny does. It feels like this person is holding back, waiting for the courage, waiting for the confidence and the courage to let the lion go, I'm going to say. Tell me about the Strength card, please. We've got the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so there's silence. But listen, I think there's something underneath the surface that is concealed. I don't think there's any lies or deceit here that you have to worry about. I feel like the lie, if there is one, is that this person doesn't want to move forward, doesn't want to say something, doesn't want to be truthful and honest. I think that might be the lie. Maybe that's what's being concealed. We've got, the Judgment card. Okay, so I feel like this person, you know what? I think we're dealing with a spiritual person here. Whether that's you or whether that's someone outside of you, maybe a Virgo or a Pisces. We've got more Piscean energy here, which accounts for the psychic energy I'm feeling here. But we've also got Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. We've also got Sagittarian energy here. And it feels like something is about to get bigger or expand. And the Judgment card is telling me that this is something that I feel is going to make somebody turn around. Every now and then I fall apart. Turn around. I need you tonight. I need you more than ever. Making it right. Can never be wrong. Somebody is, once upon a time I was falling in love, and now I'm only falling apart. Somebody here misses you. Or you miss them. It feels like somebody here is in this place of, I really want to, but I'm really scared I'm going to get hurt again. That's what it feels like. Once upon a time, there was light in my life, and now there's only love in the dark. So somebody here used to be deeply in love with another, and I feel like that broke off, or that didn't work out. And now this person is possibly doing a lot of situationships, because once upon a time there was light in my life, and now there's only love in the dark. So it feels like somebody is trying to make a decision to They know that holding themselves back and concealing how they feel is not going to bring judgment. Queen of Swords is in the reverse. They don't want to be. This person is somebody who's wounded, is what it feels like. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the wounded warrior, but the Nine of Wands. But it feels like this person is somebody who's been wounded. So I feel as though they want to make a judgment. So they want to make the decision to listen, to answer the call. They do want, like, the universe, I think, is sort of asking them to move forward into the future, but I think that this person is very stuck, and that's why they're holding back, because there is something that they're concealing under the surface. But still, this person, I feel, is quite spiritual, because they're listening. They got one ear to the sky, listening for judgment, because they're listening for the call. But the Queen of Swords in the reverse tells me that right now this person isn't really very much in balance. They're not in balance, and they haven't yet liberated themselves from a thought pattern that keeps them from moving forward. It's keeping them, holding them back. Tell me about this Ace of Wands. Let's talk about what this exciting path is, because I feel like there is an exciting path here, but I feel like it's just not quite time. So I'm going to say that I think that it's in the future, and probably in the very near future, but it doesn't feel like it's quite time yet. Tell me about this exciting path. We've got the Two of Wands. See, somebody's already planning. They're planning for the future, because we've got 3 wands here now. 2 and 1 is 3. But they have the plan in place. But I feel like this person doesn't yet have the hasn't yet decided that they can move forward enough with action. I feel like it's the action that's lacking here. We could be talking about a Libra or an Aries. Somebody here is trying to restore themselves. They want to do the right thing by you, or you want to do the right thing by someone else. It feels like somebody here wants to bring something into balance. They could be going through legal issues that they don't want to involve you in. That could be another reason why this is all delayed and held back. And then we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So somebody here is not yet ready to stand up and just say it. Stand up and say it. We've got 7 of Wands, but it's in the reverse. Somebody is like trying to be flexible, right? Justice. Justice is Libra. Libra's pretty flexible, but it feels like somebody knows that what they're going to have to do is to try and be flexible. Look, when you're in a relationship, any relationship, friendship, a relationship with a member of the family, a love ship, you always have to be flexible, right? It's not just about you at that point. You've got to be flexible in order to keep, the peace, I would say, because the Justice is here. In order to keep the peace, in order to keep things in balance. There's 10 wands here. There's something here that somebody wants to, something that's, I would say, bearing down on them, or that they're dragging around that's burdening them. It might be a legal thing, right? Justice is here. Or the fact that they feel out of balance and they want to be in balance. So it feels like this, I'm just saying, because 7, 8, 9, 10, we got 10 wands here. So it feels like somebody is really, part of the delay is that somebody is really weighed down with legal things, possibly. And they don't want to drag you into that. So that's why this is probably not quite the moment yet. Tell me why we're in Hermit energy here. Because either this represents we're not talking, it's silent between us, or one of you, or maybe both of you, is going through a dark night of the soul. Yeah, so when Hermit energy is over, when somebody feels as though they have accomplished something while they're in Hermit energy, I feel like that's when they're going to be able to get out of the chaos of the mind and move toward this 10 of Cups energy. I feel like it's a spiritual type of energy. The World card tells me that somebody here is still wrapping up an old chapter. So they don't want to drag you into the old chapter. They do want the new thing, but things are really off balance. They haven't yet made the decision, but they're waiting for the call. They could be waiting for the call from the universe to come out of this 7 of Swords energy where they're kind of concealing how they feel. Tell me about this. Maybe they're not quite single yet. It could be that too. Maybe they have to wait for somebody to have the last word or to sign the papers here. Tell me why the 9 of Pentacles is here. We've got the Emperor. We've got the 5 of Wands, and we've got the 2 of Cups. So I feel like we are talking about somebody who is a person of influence. So they have an important life, or their life is very busy. They could be a person who carries everything on their shoulders. the empire, the business, the children, the whatever it is that's going on that's legal. It does really feel like we have somebody here who's in the midst of a separation or divorce, and that is causing delays in everything. And this Two of Cups here is, this tells me that you have already got a deepened bond with this person, that you probably know them. Now, the Two of Cups isn't always love, but it is a deepening of a bond, or it's reciprocal energy emotionally. So you know a lot about this person, and you've exchanged intimacies with them. And intimacy has nothing to do with what goes on between the sheets. That's about like conversation, getting really deep about conversation. Really knowing someone intimately is knowing all their little idiosyncrasies, right? The Five of Wands is here, and I feel like the Emperor is in indecision about whether or not to show their feelings, because they're in the process of becoming single. That's what it feels like. They're in the process of taking on even more than was on their shoulders before. So I feel like this person is holding back. Two cards are indicating that they're holding back, but the other person that they're with could try to be holding on to them. I really do feel that this person, whether you know it or not, and maybe you don't because it's been concealed, but the Emperor does things the right way, right? So the Emperor is going to do things in order, and I feel like this particular Emperor doesn't want to show any feelings on the surface to you or anybody else until which time something comes to justice. So it feels like it could be in delay at this time because there is healing that's involved. Like, you can't jump from one relationship to another, to another, to another, because if you don't heal in between, you're just dragging the old luggage onto someone else's stoop and putting it there, and it's just going to cause problems, right? So I feel like somebody here is trying to get a perspective about what they want in the future, what they're going to want after everything is healed here. Tell me about the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Empress. We've got the Nine of Swords and the Fool. I think that the Emperor feels like it's going to be too late. It's going to be too little too late. By the time they get to you and tell you what's going on, it feels like there's a worry about the Empress, that the Empress will take a leap of faith with somebody else. So I feel like, the Empress is not chasing anybody, right? The Emperor is going to have to be the one who does the chasing. The Empress feels like the Emperor is actually just being miserly with their time, their energy, and their efforts. And I feel like this Emperor has a worry that somebody else has their eye on the Empress, and that the Empress might take a leap of faith with somebody else. Tell me more about this Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse, because I feel like this is what the delay is. It's not quite the time of destiny, but I feel like something is about to change in the future. Tell me what else I need to know about the Wheel of Fortune being in the reverse. We've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Look, I feel like this person has been working really, really hard at getting their justice in whatever it is that they're not getting their justice in right now. It's like they're stuck between worlds. That's what it feels like. This person is stuck between worlds, and it also feels like there's something stuck in the cog of the wheel. Do you know what I mean? So, you have, like, I'm looking at this, you have like all of the inner goings on of the clock, right? And the Emperor, I feels time ticking away, and is looking into the past. Like, I really just want to cut this free and be done with it. I think what you can expect after this delay is over, that you probably will hear from this Emperor. They could be an Aries, they don't have to be, but we also have Cancer, we have Leo, we have Pisces, we have Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Libra, Virgo, Pisces, Aries, like everybody's here, right? So tell me what happens. So this is still going to take a while. I feel like this person is really excited, but they know that they must do things in the proper way. And the Knight of Pentacles would see it no other way. To do things in order, and the Eight of Pentacles being here tells me that this person is working really hard to do things in order, but it's taking forever. So I feel like they do want to invest here. And I think that they will invest first verbally, like you'll hear from them verbally possibly. But it feels like this person is really curious about what you're up to. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're watching, but this person is really curious about what you're up to, and all they can do is wait. That's all they can do. Because this person who carries a business, who carries a lot of things, or a person of influence, they don't need anything negative attached to them. And so this person is not going to have people out there saying, oh yeah, but that person was fooling around with this one before they divorced that one. And you know what I mean? I feel like it's a timeline thing for them. Yeah. There's a lot of hope, and this is a wish. This is a wish fulfillment that's coming together, but I feel like there's a delay because the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. Look, the Wheel of Fortune is card 10. And maybe that's good. Maybe we're waiting till October. Maybe we're not. But I feel like there is definitely something that is brewing here that needs an ending. And to me, Justice and the World card is a divorce. So we could be talking about someone who is getting a separation and waiting for the divorce, try to fast track the divorce, because there's a lot of arguments, fighting. And somebody here, they're trying to release it, right? There's a lot of betrayal, arguments, fighting. This person is feeling so rejected and dejected, I would say. But they know that they can't come forward until things fix themselves. So they're keeping everything under the surface. Yeah, up in their heads. I don't know who this is for. If you want to tell me in the comments, that would be great. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to go for now. Thank you for watching my Bull Gang. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.